And good morning, YouTube. It's the Old Soldier coming at you this morning from Robinson County, North Carolina. And it is foggy as all get out this morning. People are stupid. According to North Carolina state law and the driver's handbook, when it's foggy outside, when you're required to use your windshield wipers, when it's raining, you're supposed to turn your freaking headlights on, people. I don't know how many I come up, with no more than 10, maybe 15 feet. So, I mean, it's how thick the fog was in some spots. And the next thing you know, the car's right on top of me. It's like, whoa. Where if they'd had their headlights on, I could have seen them a little further out. But long story short, it's just that and texting and driving. Get on Interstate 95, headed south from my house to come to school. And, this Charger passes me and the girl's down like this. Not even a clue. Now, this is on the interstate. And if that individual ever gets killed or hurt, boo-hoo, so sad on them. Anyway, enough of those rants right now. Next week, I'm going to try and get on my new content format. So next Wednesday, we have something prepared to review for you as far as military gear goes. This week's been kind of hectic, coming back from the funeral, that kind of thing, and then recovering from the weekend, jumping right back into school, and then of course this week's finals. I got 2 today. Got one tomorrow, and I got one I got to do online this week. My capstone project's done. Got 100 on it. Anyway, that's where I've been concentrating on. The good news is I got my author's copies of, yes, An Old Soldier's Poetry and Prose of Life, Love, and Liberty. And for that's my daddy. That was my hero. So, if you haven't already, and you like my poetry, go into the Amazon link down in the description below and order you one, 2, or 3, or 4, or 5 of these things. While you're at it, get you a copy of Thoughts of the Old Soldier as well. I'd certainly appreciate it. Can use all the help I can get. I'm a special case. But no, I wanted to share that with you this morning as well. I've got an event in September here at the school. They do annually. They call it the NC Book'em event. So I get to have a half a table and I can set my stuff up. I think I volunteered for one of the panels for poetry, so see how that goes. I mean, that's a ways off yet, but I'm looking forward to it. Got a phone interview Friday with a solar company here locally. So hopefully that might pan out into something, at least to hold me through the summer. But anyway, yeah, got to get that on a t-shirt. Just kind of, in a moment of time here, I guess things are about to transition again, but that's part of life. I want to give a shout out to all the people that have subscribed to me in the last few weeks. I am just overwhelmed and humbled by the number of subscribers, and it all started with Coda Boy 32. Coda, again, I'm humbled. Black Cat Outdoors, enjoyed being on your channel, on the sidebar last night in the side chat during your live stream yesterday evening. But I think you've given me a shout out and I appreciate it. Michael Sines gave me another one. Free Spirit News, you've given me several and I appreciate it. And I'm just calling out a few folks. Certainly I'm probably missing somebody along the line, and if I have, forgive me. I woke up this morning and saw that I was up to 150 viewers or subscribers. I'm really humbled by that, and hopefully I can get 50 more in the next few weeks. So, if you know anybody that might like my content, suggest that they subscribe and like and hit the bell button and all that good YouTube stuff that I'm not 100% sure how it works sometimes. But But anyway, thank you to everybody that has subscribed and have stayed with me so far. I really appreciate it. I'm truly humbled by that. But Saturday, let's talk about Saturday, because that's going to be a big one, you know, on Saturday. I try to do a good review on stuff. I might do another review on my M1 carbine. If the weather holds and I get some, you know, I get my honey-do list from Mrs. Old Soldier knocked out. Well, also I gotta go to church and cook breakfast for the Baptist men as well this Saturday. But it, you know, days are lasting longer. Might do some range time this Saturday with the old carbine and film that. It looked better than what I did last time. Actually showing, engaging the targets, that kind of thing, and try maybe do another in-depth review on that weapons platform. I love my M1 carbine. It's a reproduction. It's not an original model, but it's a good reproduction. Love how it shoots. I mean, and of course, if anybody out there has an M1 carbine, you know what I'm talking about. The M1 carbine has a very distinctive sound when it fires. I mean, you just can't miss it. That it has a very distinct crack that it makes when you shoot. That round does. And I think it's awesome. I really do. So we might do that. Friday, Fun Fact Friday. We're going to figure something to just be fun. Okay? No politics, no opinions, none of that stuff. But in more serious news, folks, I've been kind of touching base with certain things. As far as touching base, keeping up with certain things, you know, the one about the NRA, you know, apparently there's some issues going on there. Years ago, I was a member. I don't know, about 4 or 5 years ago, I kind of stopped supporting them just because you join and you say you get a 3-year membership. They call you the very, 6-7 months later wanting you to go ahead and renew, and it's just, I don't know. I don't like tactics like that and never have. I don't care for it. But more importantly is some of the legislation that they're supporting with our politicians now, I just disagree with. I have since joined Gun Owners of America. Am I endorsing Gun Owners of America? I wouldn't say it's an endorsement, but reading on what they support, that fits more in lines of what I believe. If you're an NRA member, this is nothing on you. If you've had good dealings with the NRA in the past years, if you still believe in them, by all means. I just kind of got burned up with them. I'm not saying the NRA is a bad organization. I just think that they might be being badly managed right now. How that makes sense. And enough of that one. But as a whole, nationwide, as we start to go through the various states, we're starting to see a lot of issues with Second Amendment rights being challenged. Some states, we're seeing it supported. But, it's pretty sad when you've got a group of sheriffs in one state that basically tells the state, we're not going to enforce your 2A laws. And kudos to those sheriffs for stepping up and defending the Constitution like that. But the fact that you got state governments that are doing this, our Second Amendment right is guaranteed in the Constitution. And I've said it before, I will say it again. It is to give the right to the people to own and bear arms in the event of a tyrannical government, that the people might stand up and resist said mentioned tyrannical government until they can establish a government, once again, for the people, by the people. That's why I don't believe in big government. That's why I firmly believe in term limits. Okay? Case in example, the House of Representatives. A person should only be able to serve 2 consecutive terms, period. Then they can take a break and come back and serve 2 more consecutive terms. But there has to be a break period in there somewhere. Senate, person can only serve one term as senator and they have to take a 6-year break and then they can run again. That way it breaks that cycle of so many of them being career politicians. And we're starting to see the effects, have been, I guess, for several years now, the effects of career politicians that have no clue, no inclination what goes on in the real world anymore. But we'll talk about that more next Tuesday on Tuesday's Political Rants. This wasn't supposed to be political. I just wanted to express some viewpoints and some opinions here on top of just, some other things. Like I said, I got a lot on my mind with these finals coming up today. I got 2 today, so anyway, I appreciate all the words of encouragement and support. Corsair trainers, I really appreciate your words of support and encouragement. I really appreciate it, sir, and to everybody else that have sent them as well. But other than that, folks, y'all have a great and blessed day. Remember, God loves you. Remember our men and women in uniform that serve us each and every day, both law enforcement, first responders, and our military. And just remember, at this very hour, somewhere, someone standing between those and those that would do us harm. Remember their families as well. With that being said, folks, charities to remember, Pin Up for Vets, Valor for Veterans, and tunnelstotowers.org. Each one of them does great and wonderful things for our veterans communities and our veterans, but they can't do it for free. So if you feel so inclined, reach down and help them out. All the links to these organizations I've got down below. 3 vendors I always like to shout out. It's Money Quick Pawn and Gun on Rayford Road in the Fayetteville, North Carolina area. It's right next to the Tractor Supply Store. Great group of people there, awesome staff. That's where I go for all my firearms needs in town. Robert's Custom Woodwork makes phenomenal plaques. If you see in my pictures, sometimes I'll post a picture of my NCO Core plaque. He made that for me. Personal friend of mine, great guy, and just got some awesome talent with what he does with those custom plaques. And then Unsung Patriot, he's 3-time combat veteran. He makes phenomenal t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, got some other things on his Etsy website. Go check him out and help him out, please. They would appreciate it. I would appreciate it. And last but not least, help me out. Get a couple of my books, Thoughts of an Old Soldier and An Old Soldier's Poetry and Prose of Life, Love, and Liberty. I'd really appreciate it. And with that being said, folks, I keep saying that. And maybe I need to put that on a t-shirt too. God bless each and every one of you. Again, thank all those, again, for subscribing to my channel. I'm just humbled. Until tomorrow, God bless, take care. This old soldier approved, this old soldier out.